Gentle word, a kind look, a good natured smile can work wonders and accomplish miracles. A very good morning to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the webinar session on media landscape in India. Learning happens in the minds and souls, not in the databases of multiple choice tests. With that mind and souls, choice made by all of us here, I would like to introduce presenter for the day, Mr. Kunal Lal, who has been in the media space. Kunal has been in the media space for the past 16 years. He is a Mudra Institute of Communications Ahmedabad graduate and has worked with the broadcasters across genres, having closely worked with the commercial aspect of animations at the Walt Disney Co. He believes that there is a massive talent in our country, and with the right direction and guidance, anyone can achieve success. Presently, Kunal is heading growth at Winkle.co, which is a tech platform for the automated influencer marketing. I welcome you, sir.
Thanks, Mani Kishore, right?
Yes, sir. Leaders are those who know the way, go the way, and show the way to their team for upliftment. I extend a heartfelt welcome to the management Koshys Group, who strives hard for excellence of the students and the institution. I also welcome academic head, all teaching and non-teaching staff of Koshis Animation and Media School. Last but not least, I welcome all the participants for their valuable presence.
Thanks a lot for such a fancy and elaborative, introduction. I don't think I deserve any of that. I'm really happy to be interacting with you all. Shweta and Vanali had reached out to me, and I thought that it's important that we share and interact. So it's more of an interactive session. Don't think of it as another classroom. With all due respect to all the teachers, we've been there, all of us. So please feel free to ask any questions. You can put them in the chat box, and I'll try and answer all of them. I've kept my presentation like really short because I wanted to understand more about what are you guys into, how what is it that you guys are learning, which way you're going. These are the small things, the initiatives that we take, to not miss out on any opportunity to learn something, to interact with new people. And that's one thing, because as creative people, we tend to get very introvert at times, and I'm sure you will relate to that. And we think of the world as whatever we are seeing and experiencing. It's very, very important to um, meet new people, understand new cultures, travel. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to present what I have created. I can share my screen, right? What do we mean when we talk about the media landscape? What is it that I really wanted to do was, like I said, creative people are the best when it comes to, I'm sorry, creating content. But in my experience, and I hope you'll agree that a lot of times creative people are not the best salespeople. They are not the best business guys. Some of them really are, and including the top shots like even Walt Disney. I'll come to that by the end of the presentation, where I'll share some snippets with you, and you will see that he was even an extremely creative guy, of course, but he was not the best business guy. That is something which not the entire not many people are aware of. So it's important for us to be aware of the data about the market that we are in, the industry that we are in, where we are headed, what all we can do with our capabilities, and to what extent our creativity can go. So let's understand what forms the M&E, the media and entertainment industry in India. So tell me, what do you think forms the M&E industry in India? I'll start. The TV is one part of it. Can you tell me what are the other platforms or components of M&E industry? Anyone? You can unmute yourself.
So, social media.
Advertising,
Social media, I heard, yes.
advertisement,
Advertisement is one part of the industry, yes, but it's not like, the platform, yes. Anything else you can think of? There are some hints on the slide itself.
radio, newsprint,
Yes,
So
yes,
mobile
broadcasting,
phones.
broadcasting,
absolutely. All are right answers. So, TV, print, radio, films, digital. This is what forms what we call as the mass media, and so there are about 800 TV channels right now in India. There are about 70,000 publications. When it comes to print, and 90% of them are in Hindi. But regional and vernacular is has always been a good space, and it's also growing. There are films, and there is massive ocean called digital. Digital has all kinds of, so your social media gets covered in it, your OTTs get covered in it. And then we have online gaming, the animation and VFX industry, music industry, OOH. Can anyone tell me what is OOH? What does it stand for? Don't Google it. No marks for the right answers, but yeah. So OH is out of home, which means the outdoor media. When you go and see billboards and all these, posters on various poles and shops and everything. So out of home is a very uh, decent size of all marketing campaign, and hence it adds up to the media industry. And then there are live events. So your IPL openings and everything. Um, Moving on, this is the main thing that we should all be aware of. I really want to know how many of you are aware of the size of M&E industry in this country. You guys have chosen this path. You guys have, are learning animation. You're wanting to be a part of the M&E industry. You're already a part of it. But do you know what is the total size? Like what is in terms of money that we talk? And please don't give me billions and millions. I want to know crores and INR. That's what matters right now. Any guesses, please? 5 crores, 10 crores, 20 crores, 2,000 crores. Like, just give me a number.
5,000 crores.
Okay. And I can hear only one voice. Come on, guys, participate. Otherwise, you'll remember this for a longer time if you participate. I encourage you all to just give me a guess, even if it's a wrong guess. Tell me. Yeah? Okay, let me ask you, do you think it's more than 10,000 crores or is it less than 10,000 crores?
More
Maybe
than
more,
10.
sir. Maybe more.
Maybe.
More than so.
Okay. So do you think it's more than um, 50,000 crores or is it less than 50,000 crores?
More than 50,000, so.
So then give me a number if you think it's more. What do you think is a number? Okay. We'll move.
1 lakh crore.
Oh, you Googled it. No, it's not. It's actually higher than that. It's 1.8 trillion. So 1,80,000 crores is what we are talking about. All the TV, digital, those components that you saw, all of that adds up to this. Now, this comprises of your advertising revenue. This comprises of subscription revenues, and everything. So that's the number. Now, you might think that this is a very big number. Um, Let me give you, something to compare with.
Sir,
Um,
is it the turnover?
this is all the money that is rolling in the M&E industry.
Okay.
Okay, so if you compare this number with Reliance Industries, the overall worth or turnover, let's say for Ambani's Reliance, is how much? 5 lakh crores. So it's a very small number compared to that. And so I'm saying that the overall media and entertainment industry, inclusive of everything that we see, is still a very very small portion compared to just one company. And Amani, just one example, Even if you look at Adani, that's around 5 lakh crores. Don't look at the data which happens. He's lost some $9 billion in the last week, which you must have read about. But yeah,
Yes.
so it's a massive number, but it's not that big, which means that there is also a lot of potential, in the country. So, what percentage of our M&E industry is of our overall GDP? 0.4%. That's it. It's very low as compared to other countries. So which there is a lot of potential. So it's a good space to be in. At the same time, it's a very small industry, which is why it's important that you continue to interact with as many stakeholders as possible, because you never know who or when that person might have something that you might have to offer, or he might have, or he or she might have to offer, right? So remember this number. This is the current number. We're growing at almost 15-20%, but because of the pandemic, the numbers are warped, so nobody can say so okay. This is so all the components that you saw. Now you know the overall size of the industry. Tell me, any guesses? What is the green part? 43%, which is the biggest, largest share of in the M&E industry. Any guesses? Is it TV? Is it print? Is it digital? Is it video, animation,
Movies.
films? Okay. Any other guesses?
Sir, digital.
Digital, sir.
Digital. Okay. So I think most of you would think of it as digital, right? And rightly so, because we have to understand that the environment that you guys are in, we are in, most of us are in, we tend to think that digital is the biggest media right now. The actual answer is television. TV forms 43% of this M&E industry, close to 788 billion rupees. Okay, so 78,000 crores. So out of that 1,80,000 crores, right? It's a very big chunk. Like I said, there are close to 800 channels, TV channels right now, and there are more coming on, day by day. The entry barriers are huge. So today, if you think that okay, TV is good, let me launch a channel. It's a capital intensive thing. You need licenses. You need to have transponder fees. You need to set up an operation system. You need to do a lot of stuff, like put a lot of money to get a TV channel going. And then what are your revenue streams? Advertising is one of them, and subscription is another one. Subscription means that you pay for a TV channel, to watch it. And government has been doing a lot of things. They digitize the entire, cable system, and they have made such regulations that people are now, paying for what they want. Although, the plans and everything is still warped and very difficult to understand. But those of you who watch TV or have seen people watching TV should remember that it's a very big pie. Okay, moving on to the next one, 22%. What do you think this is? The light purple pie that you're seeing in the donut. No wrong answers, guys. Go on.
Events.
Events, okay. Any other guesses? Events is
Print
not.
media. Print media.
Who said print? State your name. I can't see you right now.
Rakesh.
Okay, okay. So that is actually correct. Print media with 70,000 publications of all kinds, newspapers, magazines, everything forms 22% of this. This number was really big. If you look at any of the old data, 2018, 2017 data, this was a very big number. After 40, I think it was 32, 33%, but it has gone down drastically. And the pandemic has given such a huge, massive hit to print that obviously the next big one is what you guys guessed in the first instance. Digital has taken over print. Now there are so many things that are happening in this space, and the kind of growth that digital sector has seen. Guys, this number was, I think, 3 or 4% in 2013. From there, year on year, it has grown massively, and it's a very big chunk. The balance 8% that you're seeing forms everything else: radio, events, films, even so that's where the animation and the gaming industry comes in. So that's still a very small number, but we have to remember this. So if you're tomorrow when you start creating content or start creating your own animations or your own characters, you should know that which are the media, what media is going to give you the best return on your time investment. Moving on. So, what is a scenario, and sentiment overall in the country right now? These are some of the things that I've listed. I would have ideally wanted you guys to, to talk about more. And if you think there are any other, factors which are happening around you, it's important to, see um, what's happening around you and what is it that will impact your business, your job. So there are evolving lifestyles. People are now more aware of what a good lifestyle is, what kind of food they should eat. There's a lot of organic thing and happening in the market, which was never the case 2 or 3 years ago. People are getting conscious about the restaurants they eat in. It's become more of an Instagram thing, that we first post the picture of the food that we're about to eat. So lifestyles are evolving. There is income which is rising. Obviously, this has taken a hit in the last 1 or 2 years because of the pandemic, and there is the internet penetration is going up. You will be surprised that there are more internet users in rural India as compared to urban India, and that's the data right now. I'm not making up this data has gotten cheaper. So today you can get 1 GB for maybe what, $50, $20 a day, and 5G is coming up. Then there are government policies which we have to be careful about. We should be aware of them. FDI, which is the foreign direct investment, those caps are being changed. So today, if anybody wants to be in the TV space, you can actually practically get 100% FDI. If anybody wants to be in the print space, I think it's capped at 26%. But those numbers are going up. So government is letting international, MNCs to come and invest in this sector. You guys must be aware of AGVC, right? This is your arena, like straight away. Anyone? Okay, no issues. So AGVC is nothing but the animation, gaming, and a wing that government is setting up, VFX wing that the government is setting up in collaboration with IIT Bombay. I think 21-22 was the last date, like when they were supposed to do it. So if not this year, maybe next or next year, it should come up. And this is something that you should all check out. What this is about. You should be telling me about this. Whenever we talk next. And obviously, then the biggest thing is the pandemic. So, what is this? How do we translate this information? To understand where we are going and how it's going to help us and what should we focus on. So all of this means that there is going to be there. The pandemic has led to the growth basically in TV, in digital, in online gaming, and it's very easy, to guess, observe yourself, observe people around you. This is what you've been doing since the pandemic. Because even on television, the content had dried up. Like the first way, people didn't know what to do because films and all these serials are shot like 2 or 3 days in advance. There is not a huge, massive pipeline to it to the content. Nobody had thought that they will not be able to even shoot, basic stuff in a closed room. So because of that, you saw all the Ramayans and Mahabharats and all those old serials, movers and shakers, Dekh by Dekh, all the Hindi content and even in regional content, old content coming up on the screens and people were like talking about it, they're watching it because broadcaster did not have anything to show. And you've seen that they are the maximum largest pie in the space. So obviously digital has grown massively. It has taken over print. Online gaming has gone up, and gaming is very very close to what you guys are learning. PUBG was banned, yes, unfortunately, but there are so many other things which are coming up. There is a company called Glance, which on Samsung mobiles, if you swipe left on the home screen, you'll be able to see their news items, or there are quick games that you can play, very short, stuff that they've created. It's very easy to access, which means that there's also going to be high consumption of data, of content rediscoverability. So let me maybe probably try and draw an analogy here. Some of us have had friends and relatives in US, Europe, wherever. And they used to come as kids. I remember they used to come and tell us about, okay, have you heard about this series, or have you heard about this particular content, or a long, I mean, not very long ago, Friends, that the series that came up. I was only hearing about it from my people, and the only way to watch it was, through pirated means, and that time those people were, for them it was like regular old content. So, for example, today, if you see something on maybe a filter copy or any kind of video on social media, you've seen it today, right? But somebody who does not have internet, who will get internet maybe in the next 2 years or 3 years, will rediscover all this content which is lying on YouTube, which is lying on various platforms, because they would have heard about it. Game of Thrones. So many of us, including myself, I think I was like really late to even catch up on what series, because I was sick of hearing about everyone talking about Game of Thrones. Like, what is this? I need to know. And that FOMO, kicked in, and then so that rediscoverability happens at across genres, across families, across social economic classes. Whether you SSC A or B or C, these are all social economic classes, which means based on your income, your education, your demographics, you're classified, and that's how marketers look at the data. And there are obviously more unicorns. India itself has seen, I think, close to 30 or 40 unicorns recently coming up, including people like Cred and all. So all these people are like losing money, but making a lot of. Did you guys hear about Zeroda and the founders taking home a salary of 100 crores a year? Did you
Yes,
hear
sir.
about
Yes,
that?
sir. Yes, sir.
So you might think, why is it that a company which is into fintech has grown so massively in such a short span, and they are further, getting investments. The evaluation is going up. So let me give you this perspective. All these fintech apps, whether it's Zeroda or even the Coin DCX or people who are in crypto and all of that, they are all accepting your money, which is all white, so to say. And any idea on what is the total percentage of population which is the tax paying population of the country? Any percentage number you can guess? Like 50% of Indians are paying taxes, 20% are paying, 60% are paying. Any guesses?
2%.
Sir, 100%.
2%.
2% is
No,
close.
sir, 100%.
100% somebody said. I wish. And yeah, that if that happens, then we'll probably be called the golden sparrow or Sone ki Chidiya again. But yeah,
5%.
5%
The tax are
is
in
bang on.
everything. The tax are in everything. Every product we
All,
are using.
all kinds of taxes, all kinds of taxation. The
Yes, sir.
overall population, if you are working somewhere, I'm working somewhere, the taxes that we are paying to the government, that all we are part of that population, that becomes only 5% of the overall population. We're a country of 1.3 billion. So just remember that data. If companies like Zeroda and all these, fintechs are getting such evaluations, and out of those 5%, probably 1% or 2% people would have, invested or thought about Zeroda or done some sort of investments in it. Just imagine the potential where which we are sitting on. Just by the sheer size of a country, there is a lot to be done. There is a lot pending. There is no electrification which has happened completely. TV has not reached all the households. Digital has today 50% of India, we can say, has access to internet. So that's another reason why digital is going so well, and all the companies are wanting to invest here. So these are some numbers that you should be aware of. So you must be thinking, what's in it for me? I mean, this data is good. Okay, now I didn't know about certain numbers. I'm aware of it. So what's in it for me? Let's talk about the animation and VFX industry, something which you guys have chosen as your destiny, as your path. You might do it for a long time, you might not do it, but right now you're in it. So are you aware of what is the size of your animation and VFX industry? Come on, I need answers here. Don't Google, guys. You'll get wrong answers there, anyways. Okay, let's guess. Less than 2 crores, more than 2 crores, sorry, 20 crores, or give me a bracket.
500 crores.
500 crores. Okay. Any other guesses? You guys are going to make money in this industry. You should know this number like by heart. You should be tracking this number day and night. It's okay if you don't, but give me a guess here. Guesstimate. Okay, let me say, do you think it's not 500 crores? Do you think it's 1,000 crores? More than
Even more than that.
more than that. Okay, 2,000. Okay, let me.
I guess it lies somewhere around 5,000 crores.
All right, very close. This is the number right now, 8897.23 actually crores. So around 9,000 odd crores, which is if you look at the number 1,80,000 crores of the overall industry, what is this 5%? So still a very small number, but this forms there are other when these guys are collecting this data. There are animation films, there is animation which goes out in various forms on digital. All of that is slightly scattered, but this is roughly the number that we have right now. These numbers have come from Wiki and ENY. These guys come up with a M&E report, which you guys should get access to and try and understand that what are the numbers that exist in the market. This is a number that you guys should definitely be aware of. Like even if I am taking an animation and a VFX course, and I ask, and my dad would ask me, "कि बेटा क्या करोगे बड़े होके ये तुम कर रहे हो painting, drawing?" So I should be able to tell him, "कि sir, this is 9,000 crore industry that I'm heading towards, and I intend to make a big mark here." What is expected out of you? If you could just create compelling content that everyone loves, that would be great, right? Like everybody wants to create something, which can help you. So with the entire, I'm gonna move towards the Disney part of my career and whatever I've learned there. Um, there is a very popular statement by Walt Disney where he says that remember it all started with a mouse. And practically, if you think about it, he drew that character and that was it. Life changed for him. It's not like he didn't struggle. He had his own ways of stuff which he had to struggle with. But it all started essentially with a mouse. So stay focused, and you have to learn from the best in the world. For me, and this is my opinion, you guys can have a different opinion. You have the right to. The best in the world are these guys. I have seen them up close and in person, and I also had an opportunity to visit the headquarters in 2015, and out of some 2 lakh employees in globally which work for Walt Disney, I think there were some 20 people which were selected, and I was really really fortunate to be a part of that. And hence I've got to visit the headquarters. So unlike other studios where you can pay and have a tour, like Universal has studios which you can pay for, DC has in other countries, but Disney is something that you need like proper permission and only employees allowed, and the certain area that you cannot visit. So they're very very how should I say, uh, they're well protected and they're very secure in terms of what content goes out and nobody should know. So which obviously we all are when it comes to our IPs. So would you like to see before that? This is we have heard this several times. Content is king. Content is king. This is not a cliche statement, guys. This is the fact. And just this next slide is going to give you a snapshot of what I mean when I say content is king. All of these businesses thrive on the content and the center of it, the heart of it is creative talent, wherein all these animations are made and stuff is done. And from there you look at it, there is TV on the top left, there is music on the top right, there are publications, there are magazines, there are comic strips, there are parks and resorts, the Disneyland resorts, which are one of the major contributors to their overall revenue. There is merchandise licensing. This is one big thing that you will hopefully deal with a lot in future. So for all the characters that you create, brands pay you to be a part of that because they want to ride on the popularity of that character. We have seen that happening with Chota Bheem a lot in India, and all the characters any which ways are done like that. So you would have seen if you watch any of the kids channels, you'll see these chocolate brands and candy brands coming up, and the characters are part of the ad, and they are promoting this. So that is what is so compelling, and this is a very very big business. There are So this is an old snapshot. Obviously there are, it's all linked. Now there are new platforms as well. So there is Disney Plus, Hotstar, OTT, and guys, Disney has acquired like each and every uh, good animation studio that was. So you have Lucasfilm, which gives you Star Wars, and you have Pixar, you have the Marvel Studios, you have the Maker Studio, and I don't know if you guys are aware, but ESPN is also a part of the whole Disney universe. So that's a sports wing which comes under the Walt Disney Company, FII. And so all of that has been possible because of the animation, the characters that they create, the amount of effort they put in, in creating those IPs, the intellectual properties that we are talking about, and they know how to monetize it. And you guys can all do that. Seriously, like if you create a character which resonates with a particular TG, you have that person or that target group in mind. You guys can do all of this. You can make all of this, and so I had a chance to visit the studio. Would you want to see some snippets? If yes, I can move. Otherwise, we can end the presentation here.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
that's the most excitement I got for this. Okay, no,
Yes, sir.
in my head it was a different reaction, but okay. So this is all very exclusive stuff that you're going to see. This is not available anywhere, and all these pictures have been clicked by me when I was there. So yeah, so this is their, the archive section. You have like a museum. They have preserved and stored everything. So these are Walt Disney's reading glasses, as you can see on the left in the middle screen. Roy Disney was Walt Disney's brother, and he was actually a very very good guy with a very good business acumen, and he's the one who's largely responsible for what the Walt Disney is today. He, like I said in the beginning, not all creative guys are best business guys or salespeople. So this guy was the one who pushed everything. And so there's an entire building in his name which exists there. These are Burbank headquarters in. Okay. So any guesses what this first thing this is? What you're seeing on the screen? This was the first ever setup or a machine where Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was shot. Okay, this has been preserved in their office, is the headquarter office. Um, all these animations, Walt's camera, which was used in some films also. This was a video camera that he used. Some live footage was shot here. Um, on the right, what you're seeing is a snapshot of Steamboat Willie. That was one of the early Mickey Mouse films that came in 1925. And there are corridors which are full of these animations and all this stuff. This, what you're seeing on the screen right now, was actually Walt Disney's studio. This is where he used to work. Each and everything has been preserved and kept like it. On the left hand side, what you're not able to see is a white shirt which is still hanging there, and just like any other museums, this is one part which has been done, which is a part of the office space. It's not like a space where you can go pay money and look at it. So some of that this stuff which I found really fascinating. I hope you all do. So this, I'll end this with one small story, an anecdote which I picked up. What you're seeing on the screen on the top are the seven dwarfs, and they're holding the roof. And these are the headquarters of Disney at Burbank. So I asked someone, don't you? And anybody's natural reaction would be that Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and these are like the big characters. Seven dwarfs, why are they holding the roof? So this story I'm going to tell you very quickly. Before this film was shot, Disney was was seeing a lot of crunch in terms of their resources, the financial resources. So the entire office has been designed in such a manner that the adjacent building, adjacent plot was a hospital actually, where this entire space is. The entire building was designed in such a manner that if the film fails and if you're not able to make any revenue, we'll probably sell off this plot as it is to the the hospital, and the rooms and everything was designed like before they had the film out. They knew that it might just flop and will not be able to do anything. But the success of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was unseen. Nobody had imagined how good that film would do. And whatever Disney is today, that film has a very, very crucial part. So much so that the rooftop of the headquarters have been dedicated to the Seven Dwarfs. Right. I hope this was helpful. I'm open. I encourage all of you to travel to the Disneyland parks also whenever you guys have a chance to. Whenever things are better in the world, they have it in Shanghai, which is the closest. We have Paris, Hong Kong, it's a small one, and obviously US. They have Florida and Burbank. So any of the places, it's a different. It for anime people who are in animation and this world, it's a must, like it's a recommended visit. Like you should go there and experience what all they have done with their content, how they have practically created a merchandise of each and every character that they put. And right now also, so I'm sure you have kids in the families who are fans of Elsa and this Frozen fans and all these songs. So just imagine that if you're able to create a character which resonates with this TG, what all that can give you. And that is what I expect for people who are learning and creating animation and VFX. There is a lot happening in this space. You're in the right space at the right time. Just stay focused, and for everything else, there you have mentors, you have wonderful teachers who will guide you, and you always have people like me in the industry who can ping me up anytime. I'm there on LinkedIn, I'm there on Instagram. My handle is KL Clicks. So you guys can give me a follow, and I'll be happy, or DM me for anything that you need. And whenever you're ready with some content, you're thinking of making some money of it, give me a call, and I'll be able to help you, and I'll be very happy to help you, with that aspect as well. So any questions, please shoot. We still have, I think, 15 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your imparting your expertise and valuable insights on the topic on media and landscape in India, sir. So now the platform is open for questionnaire session. So if you want to ask any question, you can send in chat box, or else you can unmute your mics and you can directly ask questions.
What is the estimated growth of the industry, sir, in 5 to 10 years?
Which industry? Overall industry you're talking
Overall,
about?
overall industry.
So the year-on-year compounded thing is roughly around 15%. This number was around what you're seeing as 1,80,000 was, I think, 45,000 crores maybe 8 to 10 years ago. So it's growing. So your animation space is
Yes.
expected to double in 3 years.
Oh,
So that 9,000 might become 18,000 crores in less than 3 years also.
how organized we are, sir?
It's pretty unorganized, and that is one thing that we are yet to learn. But practically speaking, there is a lot of money in this space if if you're creating something good. So I'm talking about the numbers because I have always been on the business side of creative part.
Okay.
Um, any idea on what kind of money a TV channel would pay for one episode of, let's say, Arjun or these uh, Indian animation, Chota Bheem or something like that? How much would one episode of that cost, which is 20 minutes of content?
Crores.
Not crores, not crores, but the overall piece is obviously in crores. When you make 10 episodes, when you make 20 episodes, so the way it works is that you always submit a pilot to a broadcaster. They approve
Okay.
the pilot, and then they agree to give you that business, and then you have to continuously reproduce that story by story. So one full piece would cost you anything between 30 to 45 lakhs per episode.
Per episode. Okay.
Yeah. So that's one number which can help you when if you guys are thinking of creating pure animations with music, with dialogues, with everything.
And for the remuneration purpose, if we are creating, whether ads will be generated by us or TV channels itself?
TV channels will, that's why they pay you, right? They pay you for the content. You're happy with that money, and then they monetize that content by running ads. So all the ads in between that you see, all the Pepsis and Cokes and everything, that's the money that goes to the broadcaster. So a property like IPL, which is again a combination of live event and streaming and everything. Uh, a company like Swiggy would have paid close to 45 crores for that one season, for those 2 months of some 59 matches, or however much it is. That's the
Okay.
kind of investment that one small player, the title sponsorship and all goes. So the overall IPL earnings from advertising alone is close to 1,200, 1,500 crores.
Okay.
And all these TV channels, they sell that inventory at a rate of 4,000 to 5,000 rupees per 10 seconds. So when they sell slots, TV slots, it's sold on a per 10-second basis. If you guys want, we can do a detailed section or a conversation on that anytime later.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Happy to answer. Anyone else? Any questions?
So we have a question in chat box, sir, from Technical SRT. Sir, does it possible to go in any VFX studio without doing any course from any institution?
If you know what you're doing, if you have the skill, and that is true not just for VFX, that's true for all the industries. If you know, so if you can run a better Facebook campaign than a big shot agency, then the client will obviously not have an issue with what degrees you hold or what certifications you hold. And uh, so many people pay millions of dollars by going to universities abroad and everything. Yes, they have some different resources, better resources at times, but if you're talented, I don't think you need to, really depend on degrees or anyone. Institutes are, like resources which will help you, which will help you condition your mind, which will help you have a better focus. Nobody can spark imagination, nobody can put a story in your head. If that concept, that story is in your head, that character is in your head, you're the one, who's going to bring him or her to life. No one else can. And people who had created Chacha Chaudhry's and Quran comics and Pinkies of the world and Nagraj, if you guys have read or heard of, they never went to any institute. They were just pure talented, and they're the ones. They are the ones who are institutions in themselves. So not really, but the institute obviously helps. It helps you meet, your like-minded people. It helps you understand what are the resources. It helps you in creating and appearing for sessions like these. Somebody would have paid for this thing, so that's how.
Yes, sir.
How media
Any
has
question?
evolved in the last 5 decades and past 5 years, how the new media and advantages in technology. I think what you're trying to understand is what's happening, what's the new thing. So are you guys aware of NFTs? I'm sure you all are. If not, then that is one space that you should be checking. Anyone can tell me what an NFT is? It's called a non-fungible token. Okay. I'm going to show you something. It's called crypto funk. Have you heard of crypto punk? Sorry. Do you know what this is? I'll quickly share my screen. Can you see this? Can you
Yes, we can see it.
can you also see the heading under this? CryptoPunks NFTs sell at Christie's, which is an auction, for $16.9 million. These faces that you're seeing right now, I think 86 crores or something. Can you imagine? Like this looks like somebody has done this on MS Paint. This particular thing sold for $11 million recently because it has a mask and it's cool apparently. So NFTs is something that you should all be aware of. You know what they're doing and what that space is. It's all linked to crypto. You guys can create your art. You guys can create your characters. You guys can create paintings, digital stuff, whatever, and put it online. So somebody will buy the ownership of that. It's like a certificate that you get. You know, you can read about it at leisure. What NFTs are. There are a lot of platforms. The most popular one is OpenSeas.io, OpenSeas.io. Create your stuff, put it there. You guys can sell it, and if you're fortunate, lucky like these people, what you just saw, there is massive advancement, you know, in technology when it comes to NFT. So that's the new thing, which is something. I'm not saying make it your hardcore life motto to create only, you know, stuff and sell it as NFTs, but you should be aware of this space. You guys should be aware of, you know, anything and everything that can make you help you make money through your art. Art is not gonna feed you. Art will only help you create, you know, this thing. And recovery to karna hai na. All the money that you're putting in, all the fancy gadgets that you must have bought, the fees that you're paying. How will you recover that? How will you make, you know, all the big bucks in the world? You need to be aware of all these things, right? That's my request, you know, that all of you. So Banal is asking, should our budding students eye for careers abroad, or India is enough to cater to their expectations in terms of money and profile? So NFTs you can sell sitting out of India. You don't need to go anywhere. And when we say careers abroad, see the media space, the kind of potential that is there in the country. I've already shared that, you know, how that only 5% of people are tax paying, and all of that is led to the entire fintech thing. EdTech sector, which is coming up in a massive way. Guys, what is Byju's like? What is it showing kids? It's all animation. Each and every concept of science, of, you know, of math, everything is just being played like characters and everything. All of that is animation. These are the biggest unicorns of the country right now. So there is a lot of stuff happening in India alone. And I think going forward, and we have all already, you know, gotten conditioned to the very fact that we're sitting out of our homes and, you know, attending this session, is, you know, that the world is going to be like that. So you, wherever you are, you should have your stuff, your, you know, your gadgets and internet good connection, so that you can connect, and you really don't need to go anywhere. You can actually sit here and make money. So there is upskill, there is Upwork, there is Fiverr, which you guys can, you know, these are all platforms where you can make money as freelancers right now. You don't even need to wait for, you know, to finish your course and, you know, get better at something. Whatever knowledge you have, just share your work, and you can start making money up to 100 $200 in a week, if, and some people do that in a day also. So these, but you need to keep yourself updated with data, with information. And Pranjal, how to get into this industry? Like, what are the ways, if anyone has any idea? Um, Pranjal, I'm not sure which industry you're talking about. Are you talking about animation? Then you need to have some knowledge of, I mean, anybody can answer that question here on how to get into this industry. Media and entertainment. So just pick what is more, you know, lucrative. What sounds more lucrative? Do you want to be in the TV space? If you're in the TV space, you want to be on the content creation side. You want to be on the content monetization side or distribution side. These are two, three, you know, ways in which people make money. So you guys can, you will have to like really see what excites you, what do you find more passionate. Do you want to be an actor? Do you want to be the person who creates those graphics? There's a lot of work which goes into this. And then if not TV, is print, you know, media like more exciting for you? Do you want to come up with your own publication or contribute to a publication in some way? Digital, of course. create your own YouTube channel, Instagram account. You can monetize that. You can become an influencer. That's what I'm doing right now these days. So I'm not an influencer. We manage influencers. So when a brand comes to us, they want to reach out to the world. Each influencer has 30 million, 20 million, 8 million, 5 million, whatever kind of following, and then that is the audience that the brand is wanting to capitalize on. What are the challenges to find a job and during the job? I think um, the market is opening up right now. Um, Honestly, if you're talented enough, you don't really face any challenges in getting a job. In fact, in that scenario, you're not actually thinking about a job. You're thinking about how to set up your own thing. If you think you're very talented and your work is worthy of making a lot of bucks. So also, guys, generally speaking, like if you do a job just with this mindset that अरे job पे जाना है शाम को आना है, those times are gone. You can't do that anymore. If you're part of a startup, you have to work your ass off. If you're a part of a big corporate, you again have to work even harder to maintain your position. So um, it's it you should always look at what work or what kind of work makes you happy. Money will always follow. It will either come in the form of a job or a business. How to start a company, um, a very vague subjective question. We can have like one entire session on this. um, Depends what you want to start. What is it that you and always start small. Always try and bootstrap. Don't think of, so people celebrate the amount of funding that they get. Oh, हमें इतना funding मिल गया. We raised these many $1 million. We raised these many $1 billion. Guys, it's all a loan. There is no need to celebrate that. I mean, I'm amazed at people who get so excited. Oh, my company raised $5 billion. Company has raised $5 billion means somebody has given you a loan of $5 billion, is expecting you to work your ass off. 60, 70 hours, is what you have to put in every, maybe in the 24 hours. That's the kind of work that is expected. Somebody is giving you money. Aaj, like if you think of any common random person also, somebody gives you money, expect something in return, right? I'm giving you this. Okay, so maybe in 1 year, in 2 years time, how much will you return? In per month, how much percentage will you? So it's always best to bootstrap. It's always best to start small. To give you a very small, very different kind of analogy, but you'll relate to it. If I was a good chef and I was good at making some stuff. Maybe I make very good dosas or I make very good idlis, and I think that I should start a restaurant instead of already taking a loan, investing in a shop, getting. How should I start? I should start with actually some reality checks. I should make some dosas. I should make some idlis. I should offer it to some people in and around me, in my building, in my apartment, and see if they will pay me for that. If I get 200 customers on a consistent basis, that is when I should seriously consider of opening a restaurant. So starting a company just for the sake of starting something new and calling yourself entrepreneurs is not going to help you. You need to see whether it's really going to, because a company is going to employ people later on. And you'll be responsible for their lives. You'll be responsible for their livelihoods. So be very careful before you take this step. And it's not an easy thing to start a company and get to. Business will come in, but you should know how much it will come in. All this data will help you. What if the overall industry size is 9,000 crores? What is it that you're getting in your pocket? You're not getting anything right now. Let's be honest. So you need to figure out that, okay, how do I get a share of this 9,000 crores, right? It's like a bank has this much money, but what is the money in my account? So these are exciting numbers, but how do I get a share of this number is something that I have to figure out, which is the business part of your creativity. How to portray our creativity in this industry? I think there are dime and dozen options these days. Use social media, use Instagram, do 5, 6 posts a day, do 2, 3 reels. Instagram is really pushing reels right now. that will put across, so there are a lot of artists I personally follow. There is somebody called Art of Chai, there is Kriti something, there are so many interesting people who are creating. There's Sneha Shankar, there is a guy called Harshit Agarwal who's apparently India's first AI artist. Have you heard of someone creating paintings out of data, out of artificial intelligence? So this guy has done it. Google him, Harshit Agarwal. You'll see, or you Google India's first AI artist, you'll find his name and read about him. So he's a dear friend, and he keeps sharing all these wonderful stories. So today, there's a lot happening because of the tech. So there are many options to portray your work in this industry. There are platforms like Kulzi and all. There is YouTube. There is obviously Instagram, and now there are other platforms like the other day I was reading about. I think it's called Pexels, Pexels, wherein you can actually upload your shots and stuff. So for those who are interested in films and photography, that's one space that you can check out. So many options available for you. What characterizes the difference between national, regional, local in relation to media in our country? Um, can you specify what exactly you want to understand? So there is regional media. So in TV, so let me give you an example of television. The biggest chunk is of the sports and the GECs. GEC is General Entertainment Channels. And then equivalent to a Star Plus or a Colors or a ZTV or Sony, which are like the topmost GEC channels. In comparison, if I look at a Sun TV from South, or if I look at the Asianet, or if I look at the other regional players, Malayalam Manorama based out of Kerala, so they are equally big. They are, in fact, they are able to make more money in advertising revenue. They are able to get so Sun TV, the mainstream channel, the per 10 second spot can go to up to 1.5 lakhs per 10 seconds, even higher. So Kapil Sharma is one show which I think most of you would have seen. On that show, the cost of buying 10 seconds for an advertiser is close to 3.5 to 4 lakhs. The 4 lakhs 10 seconds, and more. That's the power of content. That's the kind of money these guys make. So regional is the flavor. If you look at influencer space also, so let's say I'm a brand and I want to associate with Kannada influencers, who create animation. It will be so hard for me to find those people. So that space is vacant right now. Please jump onto it. Create anything. Show your process. Record that process in short videos. Put it up on Instagram, and do it in a regional local language. Do it in Kannada. Do it in Tamil or whatever language you guys speak, or Hindi or Punjabi or whatever it is. Whatever that you guys do. Regional content is of massive value. Like I'm saying, how many people will be there to qualify for something like this? If you are there, then whatever money has to come will come for that brand, from that brand, right? So I hope I've answered all your questions, queries. I hope this was of some value to you. This session, these numbers. Please keep yourself updated. Feel free to reach out. I'm there on LinkedIn. You guys can send me a request. Just put in your DM or message at Koshys or something, and I'll know that you guys are. Thanks, Manali. Thank you so much for reaching out. Thank you so much, Mani. You're a great moderator. You guys should. Hey, you guys are there on Clubhouse or not? If not, then just hop on. You guys can create your own community there.
Yes,
Clubhouse,
sir. Yeah, we are planning to create one clubhouse group, sir. Like soon
like,
we will take a session in that clubhouse.
sure, invite me anytime. Done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable time. We
Thank,
are glad to have you, your presence for this day, sir. Really,
Thank
I'm
you.
very happy to have you, sir.
thank you.
Thank
And
you, sir.
thanks, Rakesh. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day and enjoy your weekend. And again, just feel free to ask me anything, anytime. If I can give any help to any of you, I'll be more than honored, right? Thanks a lot,
Sure, sir.
guys. Take care.
Thank you so much, Kunal.
Thanks, Banali. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. Nice
Thank you.
explanation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I am sure all participants would have got benefited with your knowledge shared by you, sir.
I really do.
Really, thank you, sir. I thank our chairman, Dr. Santosh Koshi, Koshi Group of Institutions, Dean Professor Sherina Shaji, Chief Administrative Officer Mr. Arusu MT for their continued support encouragement in organizing this event successfully. I also extend a gratitude to academic director, vice principals, HODs, and teaching fraternity of Koshi's group of institutions. I thank academic head and all teaching and non-teaching staff of Koshi's Animation and Media School. I thank all the participants on this occasion for their active participation and making this event successful. Thank you everyone. The feedback link will be shared to you all through share email. E-certificate will be sent through your registered email within weeks time. Thank you one and all. I, Manikishore, signing off. Stay home, stay safe.